Good morning, students. In the previous video lesson, we learnt how to write journal entries in the books of accounts by using various types of accounts, that is personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. So, in this video lesson, we are going to learn about these are the course outcomes. This video lesson outcomes, advantages of journal. What are the advantages we have by learning journal, and what are the limitations of journal, that is also we learn through this video lesson, and ledger and its pro forma. So, after completion of journal entries, we have to post all the each and every aspect into concerned ledger, concerned account. So, that is why we have to know ledger and its pro forma. So, that is why our next topic after completion of limitations of journal, ledger and its pro forma. After that, preparation of ledger accounts. How do we prepare ledger accounts? So, these are the learning outcomes of this video lesson. So, let us continue, right. So, advantages of journal. So, what are the advantages of a journal, right? Provides a chronological record. So, a journal provide chronological record. What is the meaning of chronological record? Chronological is nothing but it is a continuous record, a date wise record. So, it is a what we say, a series of record. So, whatever the transaction is done continuously, in that order only all the transactions are recorded in a journal. So, that is why journal shows us a chronological transactions. So, that is why journal provides us a chronological record. Okay. So, next one, provides the information of dual aspects about the transaction. So, earlier we discussed if you see any transaction, in that transaction we have two aspects, giving aspect and a receiving aspects. These are the two aspects. These two aspects information is provided by the journal, because these two aspects are recorded in the journal. So, that is why a particular transactions dual aspects are recorded in the books of account, that is the journal. So, that is why journal provide to us dual aspects. Okay, next one, reduces the possibility of errors, both aspects in a transaction. Errors. So, what are the errors we have? So, here this is another topic, but here how to discuss while recording transactions in a journal, the bookkeeper may or may not know while recording transactions some errors may be done, that may be knowingly, unknowingly, clerical errors, compensative errors, or the other errors. So, like that we have various types of errors. So, those errors may be done by the bookkeeper. So, when both aspects are recorded in a journal, a debit aspect and a credit aspect, both aspects will be recorded, then only that will be known as journal entry. So, when both the aspects are recorded, then only that will be known as journal entry. So, that is why there is a possibility to reduce the error, because without recording the another aspect, without recording the other aspect, the journal entry would not be completed. So, that is why there is a possibility to reduce the errors, because both the aspects are recorded in a journal. Okay. That is the advantage of a journal. Next one, perpetual record of monetary transactions. Yes, this is a perpetual is nothing but it is a permanent record. It is a permanent record, because whenever we need it, then we can check the journal about the transactions. So that's why journal is a perpetual record of monetary transactions. So that's why we can say it can be used as a permanent record. So that's why it is known as perpetual record. Next one, gives complete picture of all business transactions. Yes. So in a business we have various types of transactions. All the types of transactions are recorded in a journal. So that's why all journals will be all transactions are recorded in a journal. So that's why the journal gives us a complete picture of business transactions. So that's why all type of transactions, it may be personal accounts, it may be real accounts, it may be nominal accounts, whatever the nature of account, all types of transactions will be recorded in a journal. So that's why journal gives us a complete picture of business transactions, right. Next one, journal is the base of ledger. Journal is the base of ledger. So generally, general is known as a primary book. Journal is known as a primary book. So based on journal information, ledger can be recorded. That means based on journal entries only, whatever the journal entries we recorded in the books of accounts, that is in journal, those transactions, those aspects are to be recorded into concerned accounts. To know the summary of accounts. So that's why without journal we can't post into concerned ledger. That means without a journal there is no ledger, because journal information is recorded in the ledger. So that's why journal will be useful for further accounting process. That is the advantage. Of journal. So these are the advantages we discussed. Let us see limitations of journal. Of course, when we see a coin, there will be two sides, that is head and tail. In the same way, we can observe, you can take any topic. Here we are taking journal. Earlier we discussed positive aspects, that is advantages. Of course, there may be limitations also. That limitations, negative aspects are to be discussed now. Let me tell you one by one. Let us discuss one by one, right. Unable to ascertain daily cash balance. So in a journal, day to day transactions are recorded, that we discussed earlier. So because it is a chronological record, day to day transactions are recorded. So whatever the transaction is done, the transaction is recorded in journal according to date wise, according to transaction. So in a day, of course there may be 10 transactions, those 10 transactions are recorded continuously, transaction to transaction, day to day, week to week, monthly to monthly. So like that all the transactions recorded in a journal. But what about cash balance? Being a business entity, we have to know what is the cash balance daily, what is the closing balance, what is the opening balance for the next day or present day. So that we have to know. So what are the measures are there to know the cash balance in a journal? There is no measures to know cash balance in journal. Just whatever the transactions we did, those transactions aspects are recorded in journal. So that's why there is no measurement to know daily cash balance. So that is a limitation of journal. Next, fails to bring the similar transactions together at one place. Yes, because a journal absolutely fails because similar transactions may not bring together at one place. Of course, we can say one aspect instead of we may use subsidiary books, then that will be known as similar transactions. So, in sales book all the sales transactions are recorded, in purchase book all the purchase transactions will be recorded, but it is not that. What it is, in purchase also how many customers we have, in sales also in purchase how many suppliers we have, in sales how many customers we have. So, like that we do not have such data, to bring such type of data journal is failed, because further the topic ledger is to be prepared. To know that such details we have to prepare ledger. So, without preparing ledger there is no base or there is no faith in a journal. So, that is why it is journal is a failure to bring all similar transactions at one place. Okay, right. Next, no segregation of transactions based on its nature. There is no segregation. Segregation means separation. There is no separation, because whatever the transactions are done, those transactions are recorded one by one. So, that is why there is no segregation. If the transaction is done, the transaction is recorded. If the transaction is not done, that not recorded. So, there is no purchase, there is no sales, there is no there is no difference between purchase and sales. All the transactions are recorded at one place. So, that is why there is no segregation. Journal is a primary book. Okay, right. Next, journal is a prime record but not final record in accounting process. So, in accounting process journal is known as a primary record. It is not final record. So, after this process only the importance may be increased. So, this is not final one, this is the primary one. Okay. These are the advantages and the limitations of journal. I think you understood, right? Next, our topic is ledger. So, a ledger account is defined as a summary statement of all the transactions relating to a person, asset, expenses or income which have taken place during a given period of time and shows their effect. So, what we say here, ledger is a statement, ledger is a summary of account. So, earlier in journal whatever the transactions are done, those transactions are recorded one by one, but each and every aspect is to be posted into ledger. Ledger is nothing but it is a bunch of accounts. Account is nothing but a summary of a particular transaction, summary of a particular aspect. So, that is why that particular aspect may be a person, may be an asset, may be an expense, may be an income. So, like that we may have a particular aspect. So, each and every aspect we have to know how much activities, how much transactions we have. So, for that we have to prepare ledger. Ledger is nothing but it is a bunch of accounts. Ledger is a book where we see all the accounts, right. Each account in the ledger is divided into two halls. Halls is nothing but parts equally by a vertical line, equally by a vertical line. The left hand side part, left hand side of the account is known as debit, and the right hand side of the account is known as credit. In each hall, again date, particulars, ledger folio, that can be known as page numbers, and amount columns will be shown as follows. So, you see the pro forma of account is like this. So, this is, so when you see this account, so it is a T type, it is a T type of a T shape. This is divided into two halves. Left part is known as debit and right side part is known as credit. This left side part, in left side part we have 4 columns, in right side part also we have 4 columns, right side part also we have 4 columns. So, this 4 columns. So, one column date, another column particulars, again ledger folio, last one amount. These are the 4 columns on debit side, again 4 columns on credit side. Okay. So, when we are writing on debit side, on date, the transaction on which date the transaction is done, that date is to be written here, that is date column. So, when we are writing on debit side, you have to start with 2, on debit side you have to start with 2, on debit side you have to start with 2, on credit side you have to start with by. So, that you have to remind. So, on debit side starts with 2, on credit side starts with by. So, like this all the aspects, whatever the journal consists, journal entries, those journal entries are to be posted into concerned account. Suppose let us take example, this is machinery account. So, machinery account debit side, credit side, expenses account debit side and credit side. So, like this we have accounts pro forma, this is accounts pro forma, right. So, this pro forma consists the concerned activity summary. So, that is why each and every item contains the summary, the overall summary will be shown here, that is ledger for each and every transaction. So, in transaction also we have 2 aspects, 2 items, for those 2 items we have to maintain accounts. So, after posting into concerned account we have to balance, here we see every transaction is first recorded in the journal in the form of a journal entry. Yes, that we know. So, because every monetary transaction is recorded firstly in the journal by using various types of principles. That principles are personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. These are the 3 principles are to be used to record journal entries. From the journal, it is transferred to the concerned accounts in the ledger. This process of transferring the transactions from the journal to the ledger is known as posting. So, whatever the process is there, whatever the process means here, whatever the journal entries we recorded, those aspects means here dual aspects, each and every aspect is to be posted into concerned accounts. This process is known as posting. This process is known as posting. Various accounts in the ledger are to be balanced, with a view to prepare the final accounts. This process is known as balancing of accounts. Various accounts in the ledger are to be balanced with a view to prepare the final accounts. So, here after posting into concerned accounts, all the transactions are completed at the end of the year, then each and every account has to be balanced, balanced means what is the meaning of here? Here on debit side we may write some activities, on debit side we may write some activities, on credit side also we may write some activities. Those activities are to be balanced, So, after balancing we have to prepare trial balance, Okay. So, I think you understood the theory part of journal, recording journal entries by using various principles, that is personal accounts, real accounts, nominal accounts, and then all the monetary transactions are recorded in the journal. After recording the journal, that each and every aspect are to be posted into concerned accounts. After posting, after the end of the period, all the accounts are to be balanced, with that balances, the trial balance is to be prepared, So, that is why that is the process. So, let us see how do we prepare ledger accounts, by doing some problems. Okay. Right. Here we see one problem. Record the following transactions in a journal of the Delhi Furniture Mart and post them into concerned ledger. Post them into concerned ledger. So, on 2016 January 1st, January 1st, started business with cash, that is 10,000 rupees. On second, deposited into bank 9,000 rupees. So, business started with 10,000 cash, 9,000 is deposited into bank. Next, third date, purchased machinery for 5,000 from Jawahar and gave him a check for the amount. On 15th, paid installation charges of machinery 100 rupees. Purchased on 20, purchased timber from Naveen of the list price 2000, he allowed 10% trade discount. On 23rd, furniture costing 500 rupees was used in furnishing the office. On 25th, sold furniture to Naresh of the list price of rupees 1000 and allowed him 5% trade discount. On 28th, received a check from Naresh for rupees 930 in full settlement and sent the check to bank. On 29th, sent to Naveen in full settlement of a check for 1750. On 31st, paid wages rupees 350 and rent 200 rupees. So, these are the transactions done by Delhi Furniture Mart during the period of January 2016 January month 2016 from January 1st to January 31st. So, these transactions are to be recorded first as journal entries in a journal. After recording journal entries, those aspects, those journal entries are to be posted into concerned ledger. Concerned ledger. So, let us see one by one. Now, first one. So, already we discussed in previous video classes, that is in journal we have 5 columns, that is one date column, another one is particular column, ledger folio, debit rupees and credit rupees. So, here on January 2016 January 1st, business started with cash. Business started with cash with 10,000 rupees. Here we have two aspects. One is cash is coming inside, and the other person is providing capital to the firm. Providing capital to the firm. So, that is why right. So, according to real accounts, cash is to be debited. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So, according to this concept, this rule, cash is to be debited, and the person is giver. The person is giver. So, that is why as capital we have to write. So, cash account debtor to capital account. So, that is 10,000 on debit 10,000 and on credit 10,000, because giving aspect, receiving aspect both are equal. So, that is why cash account debtor to capital account. So, that is the journal entry is the for the first activity, for the first activity. Next we see the second activity, that is deposited into bank 9,000 rupees. So, in the bank we are depositing 9,000 rupees. Let us see 9,000 on second date. Bank comes under personal accounts, cash comes under real accounts. So, debit the receiver. So, we are depositing means we are giving cash, we are paying cash to whom? To bank. So, bank is the receiver. So, debit the receiver, credit the giver. So, bank is to be debited, debit the receiver, banker comes under personal accounts. So, that is why debit the receiver, credit the giver according to personal accounts. According to real accounts, we have to debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So, cash is going outside. So, that is why 9,000 rupees is to be debited and 9,000 rupees is to be credited. For that, we have to write a small description, that is narration, cash deposited into bank. So, earlier also being amount brought in as capital. So, like that we have to write a small description, that is narration. This narration is to be recorded to remind forever. Okay, right. Next we see third transaction, that is purchased machinery for rupees 5,000 from Jawahar and gave him a check for the amount. So, on January 3rd we purchased a machinery worth of rupees 5,000 from Jawahar and gave him a check for the amount. So, this is bank transaction. So, whatever machinery we are purchased from Jawahar and check is giving. So, for that what we have to write? So, machinery is to be purchased, machinery is purchased. Machinery means machinery comes under real accounts. So, that is why according to real accounts machinery is to be debited, because machinery coming inside, inside means in the firm. So, machinery account debtor and the person, bank comes under personal accounts. So, person is the giver. So, giver. So, according to personal accounts, debit the receiver, credit the giver. So, that is why the journal entry for this is machinery account debtor to bank account. So, this is 5,000, this is 5000. This both the aspects will be equal. So, here small description is being machinery purchased and paid by check. So, we are not paying cash, we are paying check, like that we have to write being machinery purchased and paid by check. Okay, right. Next we see paid installation charges of machinery 100 rupees. On third date we purchased one machinery that is to be installed. It is installed on 15th January. For that we have to paying 100 rupees, 100 rupees, that is we have to write, we have to write. So, right. So, paid installation charges of machinery, but that is 100 rupees, 100 rupees, right. So, that is cash paid. So, a machinery account debtor to cash account. So, what are the installation charges are there, transport charges are there, those expenses are to be debited to concerned asset. Here concerned asset is nothing but machinery account. So, machinery is to be debited with 100 and we are paying cash. So, that is why 100 is to be credited with cash. So, 100 100. So, for that narration is being installation charges on machinery. Next one, purchased timber from Naveen of the price list of the list price 2000 rupees, he allowed 10% trade discount on 20 date. So, here right we see from Naveen we purchased timber, we purchased timber worth of 2000, but Naveen given discount 10%. So, 10% means on 2000 rupees, on 2000 rupees 10% is 200 rupees. This 200 rupees is discount, this 200 rupees is discount. So, that is why this 200 is discount. So, the total is 2000, from that 200 is to be deductible. So, that is why right purchase account debtor, we have to write a discount account, but what is this discount? List price is 2000 and trade discount. So, trade discount not considered. So, right. So, 200 rupees is to be discounted. So, purchase account debtor to 1800 and Naveen to 1800. So, here we are receiving 1800 worth of timber, at the same time we are paying 1800 rupees. So, that is why we are paying to Naveen 1800 rupees. So, for this being timber purchased from Naveen rupees 2000 less 10% discount. So, that is why then 1800. Next, furniture costing 500 was used in furnishing the office. So, we are purchasing furniture, office furniture. So, that is 500. See, here also we are purchasing means it is an asset, furniture is an asset. So, that is why office furniture account debtor to purchase account debtor. Sorry, this is not purchase, this is cash account. Being furniture costing furnishing the office. So, right here this entry is wrong, this entry is wrong. Instead of purchase you have to write cash, instead of purchase we have to write cash account. So, office furniture account debtor to cash account. So, 500 okay, right. So, for that narration being furniture costing 500 we used for furnishing the office. Next, sold furniture to Naresh of the list price 1000 and allowed him 5% trade discount. Here Navin, so worth of 1000 rupees, right. So 5% trade discount, right. So Navin, we are selling to Naresh, so that is why Naresh is the receiver. So that is why Naresh account data to sales account, here 5% on 1000, 5% is 1000, 5% is 50 rupees, both the zeros will be cancelled, then it will 50. So discount is 50, rupees. So 50 rupees is discount, so 50 rupees is to be taken. So for that Naresh account data to sales account 950, right, narration. So next, on 28th received a check from Naresh 9:30 in full settlement of sent a check by bank. So full settlement 9:30. So earlier we sold furniture 950 rupees. Now full settlement, for full settlement we received only 930 rupees. So you see here bank account data, discount account data to Naresh account. So in the earlier transaction Naresh has to be Naresh has to give 950 rupees, but here for full settlement he has given 930 rupees, then remaining 20 rupees balance is discount. So that is why being check of 930 in full settlement from Naresh. So that is why the difference between 950 and 930 is 20 rupees. This 20 rupees is allowed discount. So that is why here the journal entry is bank account data, discount account data to Naresh account. So this is the journal entry for that transaction. Next, sent to Navin in full settlement of a check, that is 1750. So here also we see Navin account 1750. So earlier we have to pay 1800 rupees, but we are paying 1750 only. So Navin account data to bank account to discount received, because we have to pay 1800 rupees, but we are paying 1750. So that is why the remaining balance 50 rupees is known as discount received. So for this the narration is being check of rupees 1750 sent to Navin in full settlement. So that is why this is the journal entry for full settlement. On last is paid wages 350 and rent 200 rupees. These are the expenses. These are the two transactions are expenses. It is recorded under nominal account principle. So wages account data, rent account data to cash account 350, 200 and 550. So this is known as composite entry. This is known as composite entry. This is known as composite entry. So like this, two aspects, debit are two aspects. So if it is more than one transaction is recorded as one aspect, then that is known as composite entry. So that is why here one aspect wages is paid 350 rupees, rent is paid 200 rupees, both is paid in the form of cash. So, that is why 550 is paid. So, that is why this is known as composite entry, being amount paid for wages and rent. Okay, right. This is the journal entry, journalizing the transactions, in a journal. So, in the next video lesson, how to write ledger concerned accounts, how to post into concerned accounts, that we will learn in the next video lesson. Okay. This will be taught by the next class. Okay. So, I think you got idea about how to write journal entries in a journal. So, in the next video lesson we will learn how to post into concerned ledger accounts. Okay. Thank you. In the all the students, you see and subscribe my channel and share with your students, because for you only I have created one channel, that is named as Nagarajachari YouTube channel. You have to subscribe. You subscribe and you share with your friends. So, in the next video lesson we will see how to post into concerned ledgers, right. Thank you and keep watching.